Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for June 16th, 2014. It is a nice, comfortable morning out there, but humid conditions are on the way. We currently have temperatures in the mid to upper 60s over the northern interior as of 9:40 a.m. and lower to mid 70s over much of the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area, with winds light and variable at this time, but they will be backing to the southwest. And with that, those winds are going to bring some very humid, hot, hazy, uncomfortable weather to the northern mid-Atlantic. Yes, summer is here, and it's going to make itself known over the next 2 or 3 days. Now, this is not a true heat wave. Remember, a true heat wave has to have temperatures above 90 degrees for 3 straight days or more. I don't think we're going to see that. We're going to get close. Like, for example, tomorrow, many locations are going to likely be in the upper 80s rather than the lower 90s. And it'll feel uncomfortable, it'll feel hot and humid, but it won't meet the criteria for a true heat wave. But still, this is the first one of the summer, and it's going to be interesting to see how it transpires and how a backdoor cold front will end it just as quickly as it came. So let's take a look at the latest observations out here. This high pressure system that is developing and consolidating off of the North Carolina coast will strengthen this afternoon, and as it is doing so, it will lead to a southwesterly wind. Now this warm front boundary here, this will wash out and collapse. It's basically a separation between this high pressure system and this one. But as this high pressure system takes control and basically strengthens over the next 12 hours, this boundary will wash out and we'll end up with a hot and humid weather pattern locking in. And with that hot and humid weather pattern locking in, you have temperatures rising into the upper 80s to lower 90s and an introduction of more humidity in the atmosphere. So behind this boundary, which will wash out, we'll basically return to a pattern where you're going to see the threat for locally dense fog in the morning and a threat for thunderstorms in the afternoon into the early morning hours of the next morning. So it's going to be a pretty active pattern as well moving forward. Now on the latest radar, you could see a few of these isolated showers and thunderstorms. I don't think this is really going to reach our area with any significant impacts. There could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm late this evening, especially over northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, the Hudson River Valley, and Connecticut, as this boundary washes out and the upper level disturbance lifts north and east. But again, most locations will remain dry and humid, but no threat for any widespread showers or thunderstorms at this time with this disturbance moving east. On the visible satellite picture, you can see here very nicely as the sun rises, we have pretty much clear skies in place. Here comes that disturbance that will increase clouds later on this evening. Again, isolated shower or thunderstorm in our northern locations in the northern tier, but most locations will remain dry. Now you see this storm out here. Let's go to the water vapor satellite picture. This is really interesting to see how this pattern is kind of developing. We're going to shift a little bit to the west first. And we have out here in the Pacific a nice deep trough around the Aleutians that extends all the way down to the east of Hawaii. This is a huge ridge. So we have the trough digging around Alaska, building in the Gulf of Alaska, down into the western United States. And you get this trough over the Pacific Northwest. Now remember, because of the wavelengths in the summer, it's a little bit different in how the whole pattern kind of works its way out. So with these wavelengths setting up, you get this trough over the Pacific Northwest, a ridge over the plains in the southeast, but because of our persistent trough over the northwestern Atlantic, that will be lifting a little bit further north to allow this ridge to build up into our region, it will prevent the hottest weather conditions from building into the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. So we won't see mid to upper 90s or 100-degree type temperatures like what we will see over Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. But we will see a return to temperatures ranging from the upper 80s to mid 90s. And with that, levels of humidity will increase, but also will the threat for showers and thunderstorms, because these upper level lows that will lift into southeastern Canada will drop back southeast towards the Canadian Maritimes. And as they do so, they'll basically send disturbances driving south and east from the St. Lawrence River Valley towards the New Jersey coastal waters, leading the threat to scattered showers and thunderstorms in the evening hours. Most of the time, they'll be isolated to widely scattered. The thunderstorms will generally be strong, but there is an isolated threat for a severe thunderstorm if you get one of these really dynamic, strong disturbances like this one right here that will support the threat for very heavy downpours, hail, frequent lightning, wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. Even an isolated tornado would be possible because we're going to increase the wind shear over the region with these thunderstorms. But again, the key word here is isolated. The primary threat, I think, moving forward will be heavy rainfall with these thunderstorms. And of course, once these thunderstorms leave with all the humidity in the atmosphere, locally dense fog will be a threat as well. Now, with this trough over the northwestern Atlantic, eventually what will happen is that this trough will build back south and east towards the Canadian Maritimes after lifting a little bit further north towards Greenland. And what that's going to do is go support a cold front that will set up basically right around Quebec into Maine. And as that cold front sets up, it will drive south, force a marine air mass through the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. And on Friday evening, it's going to be rather stormy around here, followed by another wonderful weekend on the way once that high pressure system takes hold. So let's take a look at the latest model guidance using the Penn State UL website. We're going to look at the European model guidance. And again, for this evening, high pressure takes hold off of the North Carolina coast. There's still an isolated threat for a shower or thunderstorm, but for the most part, high pressure with a nice strong ridge over the southeast takes hold. Now again, notice this ridge cannot build all the way further north. See these purples? This is sinking air. And it doesn't really get any further north than, let's say, about the Delmarva Peninsula because of our trough over the northwestern Atlantic, which is going to be a constant theme throughout this summer. So for tomorrow, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, what we'll see is that ridge take hold and hot and humid weather conditions take shape. So look for temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the mid to upper 60s, even a few lower 70s in urban locations for low temperatures with areas of fog. High temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s, a few mid 90s in some of your urban locations, especially around the Delaware River Valley, Newark, portions of New York City Metro. I think as you head towards Long Island, as you head towards LaGuardia and JFK, you're more likely going to be around 89, 90 degrees rather than 91, 92, or 93 degrees. I think those type of temperatures will be focused for Newark on south and west, especially towards the Philadelphia metro. With these high temperatures, you also of course have high levels of humidity and an unstable atmosphere. Thus, from 2 p.m. on through about 4 a.m. in the next morning, you're going to have these showers and thunderstorms developing and then dropping south and east. Now, after 8 p.m., these thunderstorms will weaken, but they will feature very heavy downpours and strong wind gusts over 50 miles per hour in some locations. Now, each night, we're going to have to see exactly how these disturbances develop, where they develop, and where they move. And depending on where they are, how strong they are, and how fast they're moving, will tell us what to expect each evening with the threat for showers and thunderstorms. For example, this evening, as the air mass starts to take hold, we know that the disturbance that is developing over the Great Lakes this afternoon is relatively weak and not exactly moving towards the New Jersey coast and the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Therefore, we're really not expecting much of an impact. We'll have to see each day how these disturbances develop and how they'll approach the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Now on Friday, with that strong trough developing over the Canadian Maritimes, a very powerful cold front will drive south from New England towards the New York City metropolitan area and then the Philadelphia metropolitan area, leading to widespread showers and thunderstorms on Friday afternoon and evening. With these showers and thunderstorms moving through, we'll also introduce a much cooler air mass. So on Friday morning, look for temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, even a few lower 70s mixed in there, a very muggy type atmosphere. By the afternoon, with these showers and thunderstorms moving through, temperatures will range from the lower to mid 80s along the coast, mid 80s everywhere else. So a drastically cooler atmosphere will take hold. And then for the weekend, it's going to be absolutely beautiful once again. Canadian high pressure will take hold from the Canadian Maritimes. That, of course, is going to lead to clearing skies and very comfortable temperatures. We're looking for upper 50s to lower 60s for lows, lower to mid 80s on Saturday, upper 70s to lower 80s on Sunday, with a nice, cool, dry air mass in place. It's going to be a nice one again for this upcoming weekend. But that's your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. As always, stay safe out there.